All right, so what we're gonna do for toppings today is we've got all these beautiful fresh raspberries, and I've got myself some homemade caramel. We're gonna keep this super simple. We're just gonna make a raspberry caramel topping. All right, so we're gonna keep this super simple. The texture is actually quite nice. I know it looks a little dark. I would have preferred it if it was perfect for you, but we're never going to edit it out. We're never going to make a second one and pretend it was, oh my God, I'll do everything perfect. You know what? Sometimes this kind of thing happens, and that's the whole point of toppings. If you're going to serve just a traditional cheesecake, yeah, you probably wouldn't want it to look like this if you were selling it somewhere without topping, but we're going to use it because I don't waste food, and sometimes the topping's the best part. So I'm not going to do anything special here. I just want these cooked down. You know, sometimes you get a few little stems and stuff in there. Just make sure you take them out. Otherwise, everything's looking good. I just want this cooked down enough that some of the water comes out. And then we're going to put the caramel in and bring it up to temperature. Pour it all over our cheesecake. It's that simple. I hope this is a recipe that you will try. It is very simple. And like I said, as long as you're keeping a better eye on your cheesecake, or you know your oven better, this would have never happened at home, to be honest. And again, it's only a visual. The cheesecake itself is a very beautiful consistency. I'm very happy with it. Just visually, you don't want that darker top. And even if it is darker, you want it to be an even layer as opposed to, you know, darker towards one side. But all in all, I'm pretty sure whoever's going to enjoy this will not complain, especially with all the beautiful raspberry topping. So, got myself a wooden spoon. Now I know a lot of you will say, oh look, you're burning it. No, that's, as long as you're controlling it and you can see what you're doing, that is a beautiful caramelization. So anyone who's, you know, been in the cooking world or just plays at home in their own kitchen, caramelization is one of the best forms of cooking, especially in any type of dessert. Look at that beautiful layer that's creating. And as long as I'm actually going to turn it down slightly, but it adds such an interesting flavor when you get a little bit of that, a little bit of the char on there. Now I don't have any cooking wine with me, so I'll let its own juices lift up all these spots. But a little bit of cooking wine, and again, it'll burn off, so don't worry about getting your kids all drunk. A little bit of cooking wine will nicely deglaze the pot. Or you can just turn the temperature down a bit and the natural liquids from the fruit will lift it itself. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on, I'm not scraping, but as you can see, it works quite well. And this type of syrup, because that's essentially what it's going to make. It's going to make a nice syrup topping. Now we're going to bring this back up. There you go. This topping is going to be delicious. And I'm not even going to add any sugar. Well, no more sugar than what's in the, you know, the caramel. It's already a beautiful homemade caramel, so we're not going to go and add more sugar. Some people like to add like cornstarch to thicken it up. I'd rather just take a little bit of extra time, get the water out of it, and it'll naturally thicken up. I don't like, me personally, and I'm not saying if you do it differently that it's wrong, but I'm personally don't like using thickeners and thickening agents in any type of cooking that isn't absolutely necessary. Like a lot of people I know will actually put gelatin in their cheesecake to get a different consistency, and I'm not a fan of that. You know, I don't want cornstarch in the filling or the topping, so I'll just let it cook down. Even if it takes an extra 10 minutes, I'm okay with that. But as you can see, especially with raspberries, it happens very, very quickly. Me personally, I typically enjoy larger pieces of fruit. in my desserts. I don't worry about, but breaking it up too much, but for overall presentation, I'll probably break these up a little bit more than I would for myself. That way it'll look good when we serve it later. All right, so as you can see, we're getting really close here. So again, the beautiful homemade caramel. Now this is a point where you have to be careful, because with all these different natural and added sugars, if you want to call it that, if your heat's too high, you're going to cause yourself some problems, especially if you're not watching it. So don't want to play too long with this. I'm going to turn it down slightly, and I'm just going to incorporate all of this. I'm going to walk over here to get my other phone, because I like to document a few different angles. You never know when some more footage might come in handy. Yeah, and we just incorporate it all together to make a nice even consistency. Too bad on your end you can't smell this caramel warming up. It's absolutely amazing. Not gonna lie, looking forward to this. Oh yeah. All right, we're almost there. So I'm gonna, now that it's incorporated and I can see that it's 80% done already. And that didn't take very long. That's why I don't like rushing. Doing it right doesn't actually take very long. So I'm going to give it a little more heat, just to get rid of a little bit of that extra moisture. Because I'm going to pour this on hot and let it drip all over and make a mess. So I want it to be a little thicker than just a runny liquid, because then it'll make a huge mess. I want it to nicely coat everything. Look at me making hand gestures. You can't even see my face. This is the Italian in me. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get more sleep tonight, I promise. But look at that. Look at how beautiful that is now. Look at that. We're less than a minute away from this. Like I said, we're gonna make a mess, but look how that perfect consistency, it basically holds it on top. I don't care if it rolls over next. There we go. Let it happen naturally. Just like that. Look at that. That is a glorious mess. This is the beauty of cooking. You can do whatever you want. No one has to see this part. I'd love to hear your comments on my style of doing this kind of stuff. Please put it in the comments. But look at that. Oh my goodness, it's still even warm. Here we are. She's nicely cooled down, so everything's pretty stable, looking good. This is secret sauce. I'm not going to tell you all what's in here because I make this specially for myself, but it is a bourbon syrup reduction, and I'm very proud of this, and I love to just top things off with it because it gives a really, really, I don't want to use the word burnt, but a very, very robust, smoky flavor. Not so much smoky like like, you know, jerky, but it's like smoked sugar, but with that really, really rich bourbon taste. So here we go. I put it in this container because it's very easy to dispense like this. There we go. And it gives a really nice color contrast. So there you have it. We have ourselves this beautiful, I don't even know what to call it, but it's got raspberries, it's got caramel, it's got bourbon sauce on a cheesecake. So I'd say we've won. Now I'm gonna find 12 suckers to eat this with me. Or I'm gonna eat half and share the other half. But it doesn't matter, because we're all gonna eat, we're all gonna have fun. And then I'm gonna have a nap. Once again, I'm really sorry. I'm not as energetic as usual, I'm not as witty as usual, but I had a blast. I'm so happy that you've tuned in to watch us make another creation slash mess. But for today, I'm Chris. Thanks for viewing. I'm out. All right, so I've found a few victims to try a piece out. So we're gonna cut this up, I'm gonna serve it up, and then I'm actually out. Let's do this. First piece is always the killer. How did we do? Oh my Lord. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my Lord, look at that. Give me 1 sec, I gotta get some paper towel to clean this knife off. Every piece should look as good as the first and as every one after that. So always try and be very careful when you're cleaning knives. Oh, and that was that little piece of mint chocolate that we had embedded into the crust. And I think I'm even gonna have a slice. So I got this beautiful plate here. Turn it. And I'm entitled to a slightly bigger piece. Broke it a little bit, but you get the idea. There we go. All right. Oh, you know what? Let's serve a nice one up for our guests. There we go. Beautiful. Now I'm really out.